Good evening and welcome to NFL Trending. I'm Roger, and tonight's top story centers on one of the most talked about families in football, the Sanders family. Hall of Famer and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders had a memorable line when asked about his son, Shedeur Sanders, and whether the young quarterback would ever consider being a backup in the NFL, specifically with the Baltimore Ravens. The response, both sharp and honest, has the football world buzzing. Let's break it down. Shedeur Sanders, now in his first season in the NFL with the Cleveland Browns, has already become one of the league's most watched rookies. Coming off an incredible college career at Colorado under the guidance of his father, Shedeur entered the NFL draft with a reputation for poise, accuracy, and toughness. And while his rookie year has had its learning curves, his talent and confidence have made one thing clear: Shedeur Sanders isn't built to be a backup. This was underscored in a recent interview where Deion Sanders was asked how his son would handle the idea of sitting behind Lamar Jackson if he had landed in Baltimore. Deion's response was quick, witty, and classic prime time. He said, quote, "Shedeur isn't built to carry a clipboard. That's not who he is." It was the perfect line because it captured both the confidence of a father who believes in his son and the reality of Shedeur's mindset as a competitor. For Deion, who always carried himself with unmatched swagger throughout his Hall of Fame career, that mentality is part of the family DNA. For Shedeur, it's more than just a personality trait, it's how he approaches the game of football. Now, let's examine the context. The Ravens, of course, are led by Lamar Jackson, a two-time league MVP and one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in football. Baltimore's offense is built entirely around his unique dual-threat abilities. To imagine Shedeur Sanders, a polished pocket passer, sitting behind Jackson is intriguing on paper, but also unlikely. Deion made sure to emphasize that his son is wired to compete, not to wait. For Shedeur, the decision to join Cleveland in the draft instead of potentially landing in Baltimore was more than just about opportunity. It was about identity. In Cleveland, he's been able to step in as a leader, grow into the starting role, and establish himself as the face of the franchise's future. In Baltimore, that path would have been blocked by Jackson's long-term contract and superstar status. Deion's comments shed light on a larger conversation about quarterbacks in the NFL. The reality is that some quarterbacks enter the league fully prepared to sit, learn, and bide their time. Others arrive with a mindset that demands they play right away. Shedeur clearly belongs to the second group. His father's remark, "Shedeur isn't built to carry a clipboard," tells you everything you need to know about his mentality. He doesn't just want to play. He expects to play. It's also worth noting that this mindset is not about arrogance, it's about preparation. Shedeur's years under his father at Jackson State and Colorado gave him a unique upbringing in the game. Deion didn't just coach him as a father. He coached him as a Hall of Fame defensive back who faced quarterbacks at the highest level. That upbringing has given Shedeur both the confidence and the tools to thrive at the professional level. Reactions to Deion's comment have been strong across social media and the NFL community. Many fans praise the honesty. Others argue that every young quarterback should embrace competition, even if it means starting their career as a backup. But if you know Deion, you know he wasn't dismissing competition. He was emphasizing belief. Belief that his son is good enough to step into a starting role from day one. The comparison to other young quarterbacks is telling. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year in Kansas City before exploding into stardom. Jordan Love sat for multiple years behind Aaron Rodgers before finally becoming Green Bay's starter. But others, like Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and C.J. Stroud, were thrown into the fire immediately and proved they belonged. Shedeur's journey aligns more closely with that second group, quarterbacks who didn't wait, who took control of a franchise from the jump. For the Browns, this mindset has been a blessing. Shedeur has given the team stability at the position, something Cleveland has lacked for decades. Fans see his confidence not as cockiness, but as the type of leadership the team desperately needed. Deion's comment only amplifies what many in Cleveland already believe. They don't just have a quarterback, they have their quarterback of the future. From a Ravens perspective, the idea of Shedeur as a backup was always hypothetical. Lamar Jackson is the undisputed leader of that team, locked into a massive contract, and still in the prime of his career. The Ravens system doesn't require a traditional backup to challenge Jackson. Instead, it requires someone who can adapt to his style or keep the offense afloat in limited situations. Shedeur's skill set, while impressive, doesn't mirror Lamar's. The fit was never realistic. But hypotheticals are what makes sports debates fun. And Deion Sanders knows how to deliver sound bites that fuel those debates. His line about Shedeur not being built to carry a clipboard is one of those quotes that fans, analysts, and reporters will circle back to time and again. It perfectly encapsulates both the family's confidence and Shedeur's mindset. Zooming out, this story highlights something bigger: the generational shift happening in the NFL. Deion Sanders was a once-in-a-lifetime player who brought flash, confidence, and dominance to the game. Now, his sons are carrying that torch in their own way. Shedeur at quarterback and Shiloh at safety both embody the same DNA of belief and competitiveness. Deion's role as both a father and coach has created a new chapter in the Sanders legacy, one that continues to captivate football fans. For Shedeur, the journey is still just beginning. His rookie year is filled with highs and lows, as is the case for most first-year quarterbacks. But the mindset instilled by his father will serve him well. That drive to never see himself as a backup, to always approach the game as a starter, is what separates great players from average ones. It's the mentality that allows quarterbacks to lead huddles, win locker rooms, and elevate franchises. In the end, Deion's perfect line is more than just a catchy quote. It's a statement of belief, a glimpse into the competitive mindset of Shedeur Sanders, and a reminder of how football families shape the game we love. Whether you agree with it or not, you can't deny the Sanders family's impact on the conversation around the NFL. And so the story continues. Shedeur Sanders is carving his path in Cleveland. Lamar Jackson remains the centerpiece in Baltimore. And Deion Sanders, as always, is delivering headlines that keep fans talking. That's all for tonight's edition of NFL Trending. I'm Roger, and we'll continue to follow Shedeur's journey, Deion's unforgettable quotes, and all the biggest stories shaping the NFL. Stay with us, stay passionate, and keep trending with the league we love.